the issues and are seeking more information. And Chloe Jones is pitchside at St Mary's with Head of PR and Communications for Saints Women, Ellen Rose. Chloe, hello.
Hi Zach, yes, on a glorious Friday afternoon here, I'm here at St Mary's Stadium where Southampton women are very fortunate to be able to play all of their league games here. Unfortunately, that's not the case for some other women's teams across the league. However, this weekend is Women's Football Weekend, so it means that every team in the Women's Super League and the Women's Championship get the opportunity to play at official club stadium. I'm here with Ellen Rose, the PR manager here at Southampton FC, to kind of discuss everything. So, Ellen, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Good. So just in terms of the opportunities that women's teams get to be able to play in their official club stadiums, what are your kind of thoughts and feelings towards it?
Yeah, I think it's a brilliant opportunity this weekend presents, not only for the players to have that chance to play, obviously we're away this weekend, so the chance for those players to play in front of a big crowd at St James's Park is going to be brilliant for them, but also for the fans. It's a great opportunity to see parts of the country, to go to different stadiums that they might not have been to before.
Of course, and in terms of the fans, do you think it has an impact, whether that be positive or negative, in terms of them wanting to see their teams at the official club stadiums? Do you think it enhances them maybe buying tickets that they might not have done if their teams were playing at a lower level venue?
Yeah, I definitely think that playing at main stadium has its advantages. Like, we're really lucky here. Obviously, all of our players, all of our games in the league get to play at St Mary's, so our fans are lucky in that sense. But I think, you know, being able to play at big stadiums is what women's football deserves, and it's what those players deserve. So I think you might get in fans that typically might not normally go, but when it's at a big stadium, they might think of going along.
Yeah, of course. And in talks with, obviously, St Mary's, they're a massive supporter of Southampton women. Obviously, talking about last year, the highest attending game against Arsenal. I mean, what was that atmosphere like?
Oh, it was brilliant. Like, we had over 13,500 fans here, and to see fans of all ages, young boys, young girls, screaming out for our players. And, you know, when Molly Pike scored that goal, the stadium erupted, and a lot of those girls hadn't played in front of a crowd maybe that big before. Obviously, we've got a few players that have got that experience, but I think for a lot of our young players, it was something different and an exciting opportunity for them.
Absolutely, I can imagine it was breathtaking, just seeing this packed out. It'd be crazy. So then in terms of kind of media coverage with it and in general, do you think that when the women's teams obviously play at their official club stadiums in comparison to when they play at their maybe the lower league venues that they play at alternatively, do you think there's a difference in media coverage, or do you think there should just be more overall?
I think that there's some brilliant women's football journalists out there, but you know, from my own experience, I would say we just do need more coverage, whether that's, you know, lower leagues or at the best stadium you're playing at the Emirates. I think across the board, we'd say there needs to be more of it, and it just needs to become the norm that it's not a men's stadium, it's the main stadium, and that's where all teams should be playing. So I think, yeah, there's definitely room for improvement. Absolutely.
Well, fingers crossed, obviously, as the growth of women's football comes, that we'll be able to get more opportunities like that. But thank you so much for your time, Ellen. Back to you, Zach, in the studio.
Thank you very much, Chloe. And to a new story, 2 Barclays Women's Championship clubs are set to be a part of a trial allowing fans to drink alcohol in the stands. Southampton and Birmingham City, along with 2 other unnamed clubs, will be part of this trial this season. Discussions with the WPLL are at an early stage to capitalise on further growth for the women's game. And do away fans cause more trouble in Southampton than they do good? I asked local people if their day-to-day lives are affected by travelling fans from other teams. I'm in the beautiful city of Southampton, best known for its cruise ships, pubs and of course the little old football club, Southampton FC. Saying the word Portsmouth here is enough to get you in some trouble, but thankfully for Saints, they've not been here in a while. But Portsmouth aren't the only away fans Saints have a feud with. We spoke to members of the public to see how they feel about the safety of every other weekend.
They can get a bit rowdy, disruptive, and they tend to drink, and they walk around in groups.
I've been to a few games and the away fans seem to kick off, especially shouting and, you know, hurling abuse at locals as well. Not even people in the football, it's just they'll hurl abuse and say the city shit and other things like that. I feel like the police need to be around more. I feel like they're not in the areas in which it actually happens. They just stand outside the stadium I feel like if they had a few more police officers around the roads and other areas, it might be less of an issue.
Yeah, I think there should be like more police and stuff, you know, maybe more security, maybe like less advertising of people in pubs and stuff, because obviously alcohol can have an influence on that.
According to police reports, there were 39 arrests made last season at Southampton games. That's the most there's been in over 9 years. But it isn't all doom and gloom when it comes to travelling fans. Some people believe it adds a level of tourism to the city.
I think so. I'm not a big football fan anyway, but I mean, there's no tourism in Southampton, so it brings something, doesn't it?
But it's busier in town, and like the pubs will have plastic cups instead of glass cups and won't serve you certain things. So it does affect it, but not in like a super negative way.
Yeah, I think it does bring a bit of tourism. I know it's not like tourism in terms of like people coming abroad, but it does bring tourism. It brings people down to local pubs. It brings people down to support their club. It does help the economy a bit in this area. You know, you'll see hundreds of people in the pubs after the games. You know, you'll see them wearing their, you know, it might be a Newcastle fan or an Arsenal fan or a United fan. It just goes like that.
Besides from like the violence and that sort of side of it, I think it's quite positive, just because I like when it's busy. I like when I go into the town and there's lots of people around, especially if I'm looking to have like a nice afternoon out, or if I'm going to the pub on a Saturday. Like, I like it to be busy rather than not busy, so I like that side of it, yeah.
The public want to see more action to help keep their streets safe on the weekends. But with the way things going so far this season, there'll be plenty more to look forward to next season back in the Championship. But with 3,500 fans most likely coming away from St Mary's happy and the 3 points, can you blame them if they have a few too many drinks? I've been Zach Miller, reporting for Solent Sports News. Monaco has agreed a new 6-year deal to host Formula 1 races until at least 2031. The sport's most iconic and prestigious race has hosted races every single year since 1955, and it is back again in 2025. The track has been under pressure to change the layout, however, due to the cars not being a lot more wider nowadays than in recent years. As you may know, we are students, and some of us are making the trip over to Albania for a travel and journalism module. Trance Comic is live from Stanford Airport to give us an update on his travels.
Yes, we're live here at Wetherspoons at Stansted Airport, and we're here with a version of flying, a version of someone leaving the country. Freddie, what are your thoughts on leaving England for your first time?
I'm very excited to embrace a new culture. You know, it's very different from what I'm used to. You know, never leaving the country. It's going to be a weird experience flying on the airplane as well. But you know, I'm feeling ready. Security scared me a little bit. Got a bit overwhelmed, but we're in here, Wetherspoon, and I've had a pint, so that should calm me down a little bit.
He's a bit overwhelmed, but we're going to give him a few more pints, but he should be all right. Will, I heard you want to down a pint. You want to do the honours?
I'll give it a go. This is for Solent Sports News, everyone. Go on, repeat that.
Go on. This is for Andy. This is for Andy.
And when we drink away.
Sorry about that, technical difficulty. Luke Littler fought back against Mike De Decker to reach darts Grand Slam quarter-final last night. The 17-year-old was 9-7 down, but managed to win 3 consecutive legs, securing a meeting with Jermaine Watimina in the last 8. In the deciding leg, Littler held his nerve and nailed a treble 18 and double 16 to secure victory as he looked to claim his first Grand Slam trophy of his career. And England captain Harry Kane has publicly criticised some of his England teammates after 9 players withdrew from the games against Greece and Ireland. Kane feels England should be the priority for players, however Lee Carsley insists that the focus remains solely on the players that he has with him.
Well, I think the focus all camp has been on the players that are here. I think it's important that we make the most of this situation. It's with the amount of players that have pulled out, it gives all the players an opportunity to be here. You know, we're really looking forward to the game. It's going to be a tough test for us, and yeah, the focus has been purely on the players that are here.
One player who is here is Southampton defender Taylor Harwood-Bellis, and he is hoping to make his England debut against Ireland on Sunday. Harwood-Bellis would become the 9th player under Lee Carsley to make his England debut after Lewis Hall came on for the Three Lions last night against Greece.
Yeah, it means a lot. Obviously, it's such a proud moment. It's something that I've I think highly of playing for my country. Even at the younger age groups, I really took pride in being called up for the 21s and all the way down to under 15. So to be obviously called up for the first team, I knew it would be obviously a tough ask, and with the quality that's in the squad. But as you said, he always said if you're playing well at the top level and doing the best you can, then yeah, there'll be a high likely chance to get called up, and he stuck to his word, and yeah, so I'm really happy.
Boxing takes the reins away from the Dallas Cowboys tonight at the AT&T Stadium. Reporter Tom Wilkinson looked into what promises to be a blockbuster clash.
He must die! Come on, man. 1997 was a year of many milestones. Tiger Woods won the first of his 15 major championships in golf. Jacques Villeneuve became the first Canadian to win the Formula One World Championship. Jake Paul was born, and Mike Tyson celebrated his 31st birthday. The 58-year-old, who has been on this planet long enough to witness the England 1966 World Cup triumph, will take on YouTuber Jake Paul in Dallas tonight. The former undisputed heavyweight champion of the world may have been officially retired for 19 years, but that has not stopped him agreeing to the bout against the 27-year-old Paul. We came down to Pound for Pound Palace Boxing Club to get a professional take on this monumental sporting clash.
My name's Steve Barnes. I'm the owner of Pound for Pound and also the head coach here. I think it's dog shit. I'm happy Mike Tyson is going to earn 20 mil plus out of it. Look, it generates interest. It generates a lot of kids interested in sport. So yes, that's good, because there's a lot of kids that are gaming too much, and they're coming to us and they really don't know their left hand to their right foot. They're so behind in some of their development because they've been sat around idle too much, yeah? If it does actually encourage kids to get up and start getting interested in boxing, fantastic.
The pros are yet to be convinced, but what about the fans? This event is expected to bring hundreds of millions of eyeballs onto the sport of boxing. So are they on board with it?
A bit of an interesting one, especially when Mike Tyson's obviously not fought for a while. It'll be interesting to see. I don't have one clear winner right now. I hope Mike Tyson wins, but we'll see.
I think it's showroom boxing. It's essentially it's not, to me, it's not real boxing. It's a 58-year-old Mike Tyson versus a 27-year-old online influencer. It's a bit of a gimmick fight, but I believe that regardless of what happens, I think it'll be an interesting fight, and I think it'll pull in a lot of viewership.
I can't stand Jake Paul on a personal level. I think, to be fair, when the YouTubers do fight, they train hard for it. But I think it does slightly ruin kind of the sport. It makes it more entertainment.
It's the 2024 version of the generation game, if you will. Mike Tyson may be 58 years of age, but he is still Mike Tyson at heart, which begs the question, which of these two gentlemen will take home the bragging rights this evening?
Rory McIlroy says he would pay to play for Europe in the Ryder Cup. This comes in the wake of reports that American golfers will each receive $400,000 to compete in next year's contest. McIlroy was one of the several European stars who said they did not need financial rewards to compete in the Ryder Cup, after last year's contest in Rome was marked by Patrick Cantley refusing to wear the American team cap in a protest for all the players not being paid. And Wales are playing against Turkey tomorrow night at 5 o'clock. Craig Bellamy's side know a win will push them closer to promotion in the Nations League. However, Turkey have won 3 games in a row, scoring 8 goals in the process. Defender Ben Davies discussed the difficulty Turkey can produce.
Yeah, I think the game we played in Cardiff, I think we put a good performance out there, but it's not enough to just rest on that now. We know it's going to be a completely different game. The atmosphere will be pretty tough, but it's about us trying to come here and be as confident as we can, try and play football our way that we're trying to develop now, and hopefully we can get a good result.
And Cameron has visited Trojan Squash Club this week to find out the dying number of squash players in England and what needs to be done to help improve participation within the sport.
The number of people playing squash in England has decreased significantly by almost 50% since 2016. Off of the back of the COVID pandemic, squash, like many other sports, has struggled to retain participants compared to other racket sports. The emergence of paddle, a cross between tennis and squash, in the UK has led the sport to gain popularity, taking more eyes away from squash. Official Sports Hub visited Trojan Squash Club in Eastleigh, home of the largest sports club in Hampshire. Head coach Shane Platt told us about his experience in the sport over the last few years.
Without it, the sport would just disappear, so vital really. And Trojans are trying to do everything they can to increase the numbers, being very supportive.
Somebody who knows all about competing in the sport from a young age is Aidan.
Playing squash since I was 3, so I've been participating since for 15 years now. It's quite a long time. Because here at Trojans, we're dying with juniors. Like no one's really want to come play squash unless their dad plays squash. So we're kind of dying for juniors right now.
It has declined, the number of juniors taking part, for sure, yeah. We try really hard here to encourage our junior numbers. We go into the schools and offer squash to the schools.
It's not all doom and gloom. There is optimism that the proposed inclusion of squash by the 2028 Los Angeles Organising Committee will help to encourage a new generation of squash players.
Definitely, if it's seen on TV, mainstream, more people. It's surprising the number of people that don't know what squash is, because it's not something you played at school, it's not on TV, as you said, it's not in the Olympics. So being in the Olympics would definitely help.
I'd say it's a really good thing to have in the Olympics, because not many people know that squash is still a sport. Those make it look so easy and they're barely sweating. But then if you put like an ordinary person on a squash court,
To get a better understanding of how difficult squash can be, Sports Hub's own Cam and Rio got kitted up and put through their paces by coach Shane. By the looks of things, neither will be making an appearance at the Olympics anytime soon.
UFC fighter John Jones is back in action tomorrow night in UFC 309. He takes on Stipe Miocic in Madison Square Garden in New York City. The heavyweight champion will step into the octagon for the first time in over a year after his previous fight at UFC 285 versus Cyril Gane. And Gary Lineker has said it is the right time for another presenter to take host of Match of the Day, as the BBC look to do the football programme slightly differently. Earlier this week, Lineker announced that he will step down from the show at the end of the season after 25 years as the host. A new 4-year deal for the BBC to air the Premier League highlights next season will begin. And it's a weekend full of international rugby, especially for the two home nations, England and Ireland. We previewed fixtures to see exactly what it is they are up against.
After a loss against Australia, Steve Borthwick's record as England head coach now stands at 50% as he looks to turn things around from a poor start to the Autumn International Series. World champion South Africa will be their next challenge, with Borthwick bringing in Leicester Tigers duo Freddie Stewart and Jack Van Portfleet at fullback and scrum half, in hopes of ending a 4-match losing streak. Speaking on his return to the squad, Stewart said,
"Yeah, really excited. I've been working really hard the last couple of months to try and push my game on the back of not being selected. So, I'm very grateful for this opportunity. What better game to come back for than South Africa at home? Can't wait."
Sam Underhill has also been selected to replace Tom Curry, who is out after suffering a head injury against Australia. Ollie Slater will make his first start for England after scoring 2 tries from the bench against the Wallabies. He replaces injured Emmanuel Faye-Wabosso. This makes it a total of 4 changes in Borthwick's side to face the Springboks. Ireland Rugby will be hoping to bounce back from a defeat tonight when they come up against Argentina. A 3.5-year home winning streak came to an end as they lost against New Zealand 23-13, losing their number 1 ranking in the process. Head coach Andy Farrell wasn't looking down on his opponents though, praising them for their strength in recent years.
They've always been dangerous in recent years. You look at the history of World Cups, etc. And they've always been very dangerous, certainly in one-off games, but the consistency of high performance over the last couple of years is a credit to Felipe and his coaching staff.
Robbie Henn changed for the side, with prop Cian Healy making his 138th cap, taking him level with Brian O'Driscoll's appearance record. He'll be hoping that he can help Ireland return to winning ways.
And finally, Harlequins have announced scrum half Will Porter has signed a contract extension with the Premiership side. Porter joined Bristol Bears in 2023 and has featured in all 6 matches so far this season. The news comes a day after Quins announced vice-captain Caden Murley has also extended his stay. And that is all for us today. I've been Zach Miller. Remember, you can keep up to date 24 hours a day on our website, solentsportsnews.com.